Hi, everyone.
Hey,
I'm Alicia,
and I'm Meredith.
and this is Summer is Fun, a Summer House podcast, season 7, premiere, episode
Woo!
1.
Here we
Wasn't
are.
great, but I have
No,
a lot of thoughts.
I have thoughts about, I feel like that will reflect my thoughts of like what I'm worried about this season. Does that make
Yes.
sense?
Yes.
But like this, I think collectively everybody on Twitter, everyone around the world was like, what the fuck is this?
Rough.
With what drama we got at BravoCon through the like teaser, we're
Yeah.
like, whoa, what
I
was
need
this?
Danielle to sob her way to the ground. Like that, I want to see what happens.
Yeah.
Like
I
when
don't
someone falls over from crying, I need to know why.
not like a few days before one of the biggest holidays of the Hamptons life, 4th of July, it just being low key and chill.
Yeah. I can't. We'll get there. Okay, great. So, before we get started, check us out on the A&M Podcast Network. We have this podcast. We have It's About the Pasta Vanderpump Rules podcast, which is currently live as well. This is a busy time for me and Meredith. We have no lives except this podcast. So
We love
check
it.
that out. And then One Season Wonders, which is on pause because we're busy with our other two. Please be sure to rate, review, subscribe. We actually have a summer house review because in our off season, we did season 3. And
I
it's on the
forgot about
Patreon.
this.
Yep, it's on the Patreon and we have a review. So I'm going to read it because
We did season
sorry.
2 and 3, by the way.
2 and 3. Ooh,
Yeah.
check out the Patreon. Okay. So the review is from KK Penguin. Fun.
Ooh.
And 5 stars, says summer is fun. I'm so glad I found this podcast. These ladies just get it. I love how detailed their recaps are and appreciate their correct opinions.
Oh, well,
Have been listening to old seasons while waiting for the new one to start. Keep up the good work. Well, KK Penguin, I'll assume that you're here with us now. So thank you so much for the review and get ready for like a maybe wild ride. We don't know yet.
I have really enjoyed going back through the episodes. As people who love Bravo, I rarely go back and watch seasons. And so to do this with Vanderpump, and I really go back and watch reality TV seasons personally.
Same.
So going back and doing this has been really fun. And it's actually given me so much better insight on why things are the way they are and like present seasons and like reminds me of like what happened. And I've like really enjoyed it.
Agreed. So, but now we have to figure out what's happening in the real world. So let's keep going with our intro so that we can move forward. Check us out on Instagram at Vanderpasta. I posted the tweets today. I posted a lot of polls and I've been looking and I've been reading your DMs and I've been answering some of them. And I think we had some really good conversations. You're going to hear more about my opinion on the podcast, but thank you so much if you DM'd and thank you so much for voting in the polls because some of you have very different opinions than me and I just like don't get it. No, I get it, but like
I was gonna say we want those.
I know I need you to challenge me. Okay, also join our patreon.com/Vanderpasta. Let me tell you what you can get. For $1, ooh, I was breathing.
That was like a laugh, a breathe, and a cough, and it just woo.
It was like an old person cough, like woo. Okay. For $1 a month, you get access to all of our pre-shows where Meredith and I talk about whatever we want.
It was a full, I think, 40 minutes.
Where did we start? We started with Instagram hacking and we landed on All American, a show that Meredith and I are both watching. Okay, so great. Also, you get access to any episodes we record early, like this one won't be released until later, but it'll be on the Patreon first, and it's like very fun.
This season, especially just because 2 shows are live at once, the Patreon will really get them typically well in advance. We just have to do it scheduled out.
We're releasing, correct me if I'm wrong, Summer House on Fridays.
Yeah.
And Vanderpump Rules on Sundays because we need some time to like watch
just in case we happen to be busy.
But as soon as we record, it's going to go on the Patreon. So we could record like Monday night Summer House and it'll be up there, but it won't be released till Friday.
Yeah.
We're not doing that this time. This is Wednesday. So it took us a little bit of time. Okay. So then for $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus you get access to our after shows that we do when we go back and watch old seasons. So we can talk about Bravo news without giving spoilers away. We're not doing that now because I'll tell you all the spoilers in real time because that's what this is.
Heck yes. It's so much fun when you don't have to like hold back.
Yeah. Also, I don't care if two people are together on the show, but they're broken up in real life. I'm gonna tell you they're broken up in real life, and we're gonna
We'll
deal
talk
with
about
this
both
together.
parallels. Yeah.
We're talking about everything. Okay. Also, we'll say your name on the podcast. So thank you to Chris, Danae, Dustin, Jackie, Jamie, Casey, Kimberly, Chrissy, Sarah, Cameron, Tiffany, Tonette, Tracy, Courtney, Gina, Jennifer, Kirsten, Kelsey, and Mariah.
Woo! Gold stars for all.
Remember when it was just one, and now look at us.
It's a massive family. I'm hoping people commented about Summer House.
Ooh, did we get comments? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a $5. If you're $5, here's what you get. Access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, for live seasons like Meredith, blah, blah, blah. Meredith, what's your name? Just mentioned. We will ask for your comments, questions, concerns, opinions, literally anything you want to tell us, and we'll read them on the podcast. And man, did we get comments.
Yes.
People are ready. So I'll read them at the end, though, because they all have to do with this episode. Don't let me forget. I think that's it. Great. 10 out of 10. Meredith, are you mixing it up? I'm drinking my gut pop.
Dude, I think I might start buying those whenever I have my apartment again. But no, I'm just drinking water.
Healthy. But mine's healthy because it's gut.
Listen,
stuff.
I'm on a huge soda kick, and I think I'm gonna have to give it up for Lent. So that's how bad it is. So I'm trying to like wean myself off now.
Meredith and I are not Christian, but man, do we do Lent.
What? We are Christian.
I mean, we're not like good Christians.
Oh, yeah. No, like I don't go to church, but
we've openly talked about religion on the pre-show.
But like Lent somehow in my book is upheld every year, and it's just so ingrained in me.
It's my Catholic guilt. Okay, so great. Because when we get to heaven, Jesus is going to be like, you were pretty shitty and didn't go to church.
Not eating meat on Fridays.
Did Lent. Okay, let's get into this episode. So it starts out. People have to. What?
I hated this. I hated. Are we done? Start.
Is the podcast over?
I already don't want to talk about this first scene.
Too late. Okay, so we start out, and the producer's like, if you could describe this season or this summer in one episode. Oh, we're not there yet. Yeah. Ew, I know what you're gonna say. Okay. If you could describe summer in one word, what would it be? And we get shocking, mayhem, never felt like this ever. We've reached a point where we don't give a fuck. Ooh, what's gonna happen? 2 months earlier, we go back. We do a jump backwards.
I did love how this started.
Yeah, we end up in New York. It's the start of summer. We find out it's July 4th weekend. And we immediately get, babe.
God.
What, babe?
Oh, God.
I'm convinced they do not know each other's names. Tell me I'm wrong.
I literally, I don't like when people do this in my own life. So, like, why do I want to watch this for quote unquote enjoyment on a TV show?
I want to start out by saying I am a Lindsay apologist. I love her so much. I stan, except this. This is my goddamn
Carl
nightmare.
On Watch What Happens Live said, wow, I did not realize we did this so much. And he goes, I am so sorry. And I was like, thank you for the apology.
It was the hardest thing ever. Anyway, it gets worse because all I think of is this is on camera. So Lindsay comes out in a nurse's outfit and Carl is like, wow. No.
Here's the thing, Lindsay, is you have to act like you're thrilled and like nobody else is in the room, which makes it that much weirder.
Except the camera guy, Steve.
There's a camera guy, probably an audio guy, probably a producer sitting
the guy
right
holding
there with
the boom. The boom mic is just like ugh.
Jesus.
So then we find out they moved in together 2 weeks ago. And then my next note is this for real though? Because this is when Lindsay's like, ooh, I'm a hard doctor. Get it? Like, I was like, oh, it's tragic. And then she gets on top of him on the bed, and Carl has this big smile on his face, and he's like, wow, oh my God.
It was over the top.
You're so hot. And then they kiss, and Carl's whole face is covered in lipstick. He looks lovely. Yes. And then Lindsay goes, I'm not wearing any underwear. And Carl checks.
What are we doing? I feel like this is if like your cousins were making out at Christmas and the whole family is like sitting there like, what are we doing?
If we wanted your porn, we would pay for it. We don't want it for free.
Like,
no one wanted it. No one asked for it.
No one wants it. No, I don't want this from anyone, even a couple. Now, I don't dislike them as a couple, but any couple I'm like obsessed with on the internet, TV shows, anything, I don't want this from.
And I want to be clear, there's a lot of celebrities I would love to see a sex tape of. I would probably pay for it. This is not one of them.
But
this
like
is not a
sex tape, not like this.
This isn't something I would want. This isn't. Also, can we talk about if you're in a loving, committed relationship, right? You do whatever gets you started, like all down.
Yeah.
But this cheesy ass nurse's costume is not it for me. This is not how to turn someone. Like, it's just, if someone walked forced out, it felt weird. It was bad. Can we just agree it was bad?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's never talk about it again. So, it's now Friday. I don't know what day it was when we saw
no idea. And it just goes to show that like they are just trying to tell us that they're in a relationship, and this was not needed.
That was hell. Thanks,
you could
everyone.
have walked down the street holding hands and I would have gotten that you're in a relationship.
Yeah, I'm fully violated. Thanks so much. Anyway, now it's Friday, 4:53 p.m. We're in New York, but we're packing up our cars. Kyle and Amanda have a new car they're driving down this year. We usually have Kyle's black sports car, right?
Yeah, it kind of makes me sad. I feel like it's iconic.
He probably has both. Kyle, though, is like doing accents, which are Amanda calls very offensive. Like, shout out Amanda. Nice. Okay, so Kyle says this summer he's finally grown up because he's married and he's about to actually turn 40. I know I've been clowning this man for years that he's 40. But now
it's incredible to me that he's like, I've finally grown up. And to be honest, I do give him a little credit because on Winter House, he was a little bit more like adult than we've seen in Summer House years past.
Yeah, for sure. This is also different Kyle. Summer Kyle and Winter Kyle.
True.
Not
I don't want Kyle to like grow up. I just want him to stop being a douchebag in his relationship.
Yes, yeah. I still want him to be a douchebag, just not to Amanda.
Yes, like I want you to black out and like have fun and like do all that stuff, but just like stay out till 3 a.m. and just ignore every phone call.
Or do it with Amanda.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Anyway, so they both have new friends coming, and so does Paige. So then we cut to Paige. She's driving. She's picking up Gabby, who's a fashion editor. And I love Paige. She always brings a friend because last summer she brought Maya, remember? And also, she's really great at diversifying the cast.
Yes.
Gabby is a beautiful Black woman.
Is really good at really quick, seamlessly adding someone in.
Yeah.
It feels like a natural friend.
She's fantastic. But I love the diversity. We need more. Bring it. But yeah, so I'm really fascinated if Gabby lives in the financial district because that's like not the place to live, but good for Gabby.
I think she does because that's where Paige picked her up.
I didn't know if like maybe she came from work.
Oh yeah.
It is Friday. Okay, so Paige met Gabby at a dinner and they both got drunk, and then she told Paige about Paige's horoscope, and then Gabby talks about her horoscope, and I know nothing she says about her signs because I know nothing.
I once got my chart read at a girls' event and it was fun, like just randomness to hear, but I don't know what it means.
My extent is that I'm a Scorpio and that means I'm bitchy, which 100% right there.
I'm a Cancer and I'm bitchy. I don't know if that's what it.
Shout out. Nice. Look at us. Okay, yeah. So basically Gabby describes herself as a mess on a good day, but like that's how she came out.
I am just feeling Gabby's like raw honesty. I love it so much because I think it takes a really specific personality to be really good at reality TV, and her personality is immediately hitting as like, I'm into this.
Honestly, same. Okay, but I'm choking. Paige is excited. It's a good group. You know, she's been coming back for 5 summers, so she must be enjoying herself.
Which that's wild to count.
Wild. Carl and Lindsay are matching. And then Lindsay's literally dying at everything Carl says. And it's like cute, but he's not funny. I
have never noticed her laugh in my entire life until we just watched season 3 and Carl made fun of her laugh at that family dinner thing.
Yeah.
That's the first time I ever noticed her laugh as something odd. And it is literally nails on a chalkboard to me in this scene.
Oh my God.
I was having such a hard time watching this because, again, it already is like coupled with that first scene of being like kind of forced. So I feel like everything about their relationship is becoming forced to me.
I posted this poll because someone said they feel like more brother and sister than romantic. And I don't think they feel like brother and sister, but there is a vibe there I don't like. Like I don't agree with the
it's like a little
vibe.
I think their relationship is airing a little bit more on platonic than other relationships we've seen with Lindsay.
Yeah. Because someone like described it as two people who have like gone past like what they want in like right. Lindsay wanted to be married at like 25. They just settle with each other. Yeah. Because it's fine. Which I think, at this point,
not saying this is that for them, but even if they did do that, I think they would be a successful relationship if they did do that.
Yeah.
I do think there is more like romance, whatever. I think they are really into each other. It just isn't translating for me. And it doesn't look good on
TV.
No.
Yeah. Okay, great. So Paige and Gabby, Paige goes through the couples in the car. Amanda and Kyle, the most stable couple for forever.
I wouldn't say stable, but I would say the most consistent, not in like their relationship is consistent, but that they have been consistently a part of this show.
Yeah, literally last summer, Paige was like, if you don't want to get married, don't.
Jeez, that was last summer.
Crazy. Damn. Okay, Carl and Lindsay, they just started a date. Maya is quote unquote dating Oliver.
The way they talk about Oliver, I'm already like feeling weird about it. We know that they're broken up present day.
Yeah, at BravoCon, she told us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think maybe they make it through the summer and break up in the fall. I don't know. Yeah. But Gabby's the only single girl. But Paige says if Craig's not in the state, does she even have a boyfriend?
What I do appreciate about Paige is I feel like she'll act like a single girl for Gabby, like in like the fun, let's
go out,
find guys for you.
Yes.
Like it won't withhold her from doing anything.
Like Amanda's really good at that.
But like Amanda has Kyle there, that's so true, like Kyle's her attention goes to Kyle. So like Paige is a single being.
Yes. Okay, so Gabby then asks about Craig's sign, and Paige says it's not great for us. So Paige is a Scorpio. I know that because her birthday is right around the same time as mine, and we're both Scorpios, and we're basically twins, the same person, if you will. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Anyway, Craig's an Aquarius. And they have good sex, but I don't know like what the bad thing is.
I don't either. I don't understand.
Should I not date an Aquarius?
I understand my sign and my chart, but I don't understand how I work with other people. So I don't know if somebody wants to tell me as a Cancer sign who I should be dating, feel free to drop it into the DMs because like I guess the more information, the merrier.
Yeah, if someone could let me know as a Scorpio who I should be hanging out with.
I guess not an Aquarius. That's all.
I don't know. I don't even know when. If someone said my birthday is March 15th, I wouldn't be like, "Are you?" No idea. I'd be like, "I don't know." Okay.
I could only tell you probably the week of my birthday because I would just assume that you're going to be the same as me.
Agreed. Okay. We make it to the Hamptons. Amanda and Kyle are here first. A bunch of lover boys for Kyle to bring in. It's 8:04 p.m. There's new furniture. So now we got to go look at the bedrooms because there's an issue.
Well, and Kyle has to pick a bedroom first.
Yes.
For his sanity, I need him to pick a bedroom first, even though I hate that he does this.
This is a staple. So the Hamptons have old laws. The house that they're staying in is only zoned for 5 bedrooms, not 9. So they put multiple beds in each bedroom. So there's 4 bedrooms from last year that are not usable, that have turned into like little couch areas.
There were 9 bedrooms last year, and now there are 5 rooms with beds.
Yes. So Paige's old room that she stayed in with Sierra upstairs in the corner. That looks like to be the only room with 1 bed. So Kyle and Amanda.
There's one other because of Lindsay and Carl's bedroom.
Wait. Oh, you're right. Okay. Yeah.
I think 2 out of 5 bedrooms have like single, just 2 couples like could share them. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like 1 bed in there. Yes. And then 3 rooms have multiple beds.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
So Kyle and Amanda get that one because it's bigger than Carl and Lindsay's.
Yeah. Which makes me sad because I love the angle of cameras into that room with Paige and Sierra just being the Willy Wonka grandparents.
In bed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So they take that one. Now it's 8:11, and there's a knock on the door, which scares the shit out of Amanda because they're trying to claim their room. And it's this guy, Chris, who knows Kyle. He's a photographer. And we find out this summer the boys are outnumbered 3-8, but that's really good for Chris because I'm assuming that Chris is single.
This so much.
Yeah, I just need more boys, right? Bring back my Italian
I don't need the inner couple or like in-house dating by any means. Obviously it's gonna happen, but like I just need people on the prowl, and like seeing the guys versus the girls is always interesting.
I agree. I want I want a whole single house at one point. I would love
it. How do we do girls and guys cars when the numbers are so off?
I don't know, but did you pick up they called that? And I was like, Lindsay's in the guys car.
I knew immediately.
Okay, great. So Chris grew up in Naples, Florida. He moved to New York City 6 years ago. At first, he was no party, just work. But then he realized you have to enjoy yourself. And he's never done a house share before, to which I think this is either going to make or break him because some people don't come out alive.
I agree.
We never saw Jules again. so now it's 8:32. Paige and Gabby are here. They leave their bags in the car. And Paige is like, oh, we used to have an Italian man that would get your bags and pay you compliments at the same time. And Gabby's like, where is he now? And she's like, oh, he found love.
I cackled.
Can we have a moment for Andrea,
please? I literally wrote ... sad.
I said pour one out for Andrea. The perfect man.
I mean, this is how you just have respect for women.
Yes. I was talking to a friend about it today. If we have to recast the show, that's fine, but I want the one stable couple to be Andrea and Lexi. Everyone else better be single and messy.
When we get Andrea, I really want Lexi because I want to see that side of him. If he treats the women he's not dating this good, how does he treat the woman he's dating?
I don't know, but I'm gonna fall in love with him again. My standards are so high because of Andrea.
I agree.
Period.
I agree. You're so right. Like, I need coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
So you best bring it to me.
Kyle, Carl, and Lindsay can't stay on forever. So do we need a new stable couple? It's going to be Andrea and Lexi, and all these other bitches can come, but they get master bedroom. That's what we're doing. I'm rewriting Summer House. Okay, so Amanda's cooking for everyone. Paige brought groceries. We do a round of hellos. So now Kyle's like, hey, 24 hours ago, I got this email about this bedroom thing. And I guess Danielle's bedroom is even locked. So we're down to 4 bedrooms at this point.
No, I think that's one room that's off limits to them. I think I think it's locked because this is on camera. So I bet when they do Airbnb or something, it's available as a room, but they don't want that on camera. They have 5 rooms available to them.
Yes. Why would Danielle's room be locked?
Because I think there's a bed in there and they can't have 6 bedrooms because of the laws.
Oh,
I think they're sneaky, when there's not cameras around. My senior house in my college town had to do like a little like, oh, we're bending the rules to have 7 girls sleep in a house.
I hate this. Someone find me a map. Okay, so the master bedroom downstairs, Kyle and Amanda's old room. In there's 2 big beds and like it's a big room.
Which Paige, who knew there was a whole space where that new bed is? Like, didn't know that last year.
I didn't either. I don't know what was there.
No idea.
So Paige is thinking her, Gabby, Maya, and Sierra can stay here. And I'm like, brilliant. But then this. Amanda has a friend coming named Sam, and we won't want Sam to feel left out. So we're like, we'll just wait, which is really nice of Paige to be like, we'll sleep wherever, we'll just wait. So Sierra and Danielle aren't here this weekend either. So that opens up a few spots. Now it's 8:41. Maya's here. Kyle gets Maya's bag because Maya's like, hey, guess what? I have bags in the car for you. And Kyle's like, I can do that. And I was like, that's really sweet of Kyle.
We're raising the standards. Kyle knows what the girls expect now.
Yeah, he doesn't bring Amanda coffee, but he can at least get Maya's bag. Shout out.
Exactly.
So Maya looks really good. Can we talk about it? Her blonde hair, she looks tan and fit. She
looks
amazing.
Really happy too. You know, like great. She's very glowing. Peppy. Like I just love a start of a season because everybody's like fresh and not like battered down with the drama. That's why this episode, the episode they've been through war. Yes, they've been through
full war. Okay, so we do shots and then the drama starts because everyone's like, has anyone talked to Lindsay and Carl? And Kyle lets Chris know, like, hey, there were these two friends. They met 6 years ago in a summer house that I put together, and sparks are flying. But
when Kyle said that I put together, I was like, dude,
he missed a lot. He missed the Lauren and Everett and the finger bang and the breakup and Stravy and the soberness. He missed a lot, but basically that's what happened. So Kyle is pumped for another couple in the house because it like takes slack off him and Amanda for being a couple. But
honestly, I bet they skate by as a couple this year. First time.
I bet they're like a nightmare, but not compared to Lindsay and Carl.
You wouldn't even notice because Lindsay and Carl are going to get all the heat, I bet.
But Kyle is concerned because 2 nights in Vermont, when Carl and Lindsay came to visit Winter House, those were some not good vibes in Vermont. So we don't know.
It was
off. That was technically the house's fault.
I agree.
Technically.
But here's the thing. I think like 10% of it is just them dating and the change. It would always be off. And then the house really did them in. But it is true. Like the vibe was off. And it's not Carl and Lindsay's fault. But like, what's going to happen this time?
I want to be clear. I never want a third wheel Carl and Lindsay because I think there would be a nightmare to be around together.
Yeah.
But so I do get vibes are going to be off because I don't want to hang out with them really either.
Yeah.
However, that house fucked it up.
Absolutely.
Started a whole rumor. Didn't even
They made it their fault when it could have been Lindsay and Carl's fault just
it was
for
awful.
being them.
But do I think in Summer House it's going to be more Lindsay and Carl throwing vibes off? Yeah, I think they're going to be at fault. For some reason, I don't know why. I don't know.
I do know why, and we'll talk about it at the end.
So Kyle loves a good move. Or a good mood. So we'll see what to think.
I literally wanted to punch him in the face when he goes, I take the mood in the house very seriously.
Whatever,
I'm like,
fuck off.
I hate the superiority he like brings to being the person who arranges the house. And I'm like, shut the fuck up.
He did arrange the house. He's the one emailing with these people about 5 rooms.
It does remind me that this is real. Like Kyle is like talking to the house owner. It's not production.
Yeah, Kyle does it. So he puts the house together.
But still, like, shut the fuck up. Like, as if you're, like, a composer of an orchestra. Like, stop.
I'm going to give it to him. Okay, let's get into some real drama, though. So Maya says she hasn't talked to Carl or Lindsay since February because Lindsay's mad at her and doesn't want Maya having a relationship with Carl. So Lindsay...
Which I was so confused by this
so weird
initial comment.
Of all people, like of all people to beef with. So Lindsay said Maya wanted Carl in a sexual way, which I was very surprised about. But here's the story. They were in LA. They were filming that Family Feud that they did.
Yes. And this was when Winter House was going on, by the way.
Yes.
Like, this is the beginning of Winter House filming.
So Maya was a little pissed they lost. So after, like, she's in the car with Lindsay. She's not with Carl or whoever else was there. I don't remember. But she's in the car with Lindsay. And she's like, LOL, I just texted Carl that maybe we'll smoke a J.
Yeah.
Because they've done it before. Maya and Carl, I guess, smoke weed all the time together, right?
I guess.
Lindsay said, you did what? And told Maya that Maya wasn't respectful of their relationship and Maya wanting Carl in a sexual way. And Maya said she's not that girl. And Maya built a friendship with Carl.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I immediately thought it was in the summer house. Maya had a really hard time adjusting. And she found comfort in sober Carl. Like, they hung out together.
Yes.
Not in a sexual way.
No.
Like, very platonic. Like, big brother almost.
Yes. And now, like, if Lindsay and Carl never got together, would I maybe want to see, like, oh, do they have something?
For sure.
Yeah, of course. I'd wonder. And I'm sure, like, in theory, it flashed through Maya's head, but there has been nothing going down that road.
Goose eggs. So also, can I just say, Maya telling Lindsay, like, hey, I texted Carl to see if we could smoke some weed. That is like the most platonic thing. If she's really trying to get with Carl, she's not going to tell you she's texting him.
That she's like trying to hang out with your boyfriend behind your back.
Smoke weed.
Yeah.
Fucking, it's not like we're taking shots and we're going to like touch all over. We're probably going to melt on the couch, order a pizza, and like go to bed.
Yeah, like we're gonna go probably sit on the rooftop of our hotel, smoke, chit chat for a little bit, and then go back to our separate hotel rooms, and he's going to your room.
So Maya doesn't think it's fair that she was just texting a friend. And then Amanda's like, I haven't talked to Carl or Lindsay either. And Gabby's like, hey, you guys, why didn't you tell me there was fucking drama? Why'd you just bring me here?
That. That shit always happens. Like, if you ever went on like a weekend with friends, people would be like, no, it's going to be a great time. And then you get there and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
I'm already obsessed with Gabby because this would be my reaction. I'd be like, hey, Paige, can we have a quick sidebar?
Yes.
Fuck you.
I love really how Gabby is like inserting herself in the conversation, even though she like doesn't know the lay of the land. Like she's involved, like getting involved with the house conversations already, and that's what she's getting involved.
She's starting to form a relationship with the other girls because they're like, haha, like it's getting. This is how you make a relationship with women.
Yes.
Who has had issues in the past? Literally everyone.
Yeah.
This is how you do it.
Yep.
It's very fun. Okay.
I think this shows success that Gabby can be a multi-season girl.
Yes. So it's 9:06 p.m. And then we find out that Lindsay texted Maya after the fiasco and was like, hey, babe, we good? And Maya, I don't think texted her this back, but Maya says, you just came for my entire life and you're going to ask me if we're good? No, we're not. And I was like, she didn't come for your life. She just told you to like stay off her boyfriend.
But can you imagine Lindsay in the car if she was upset? Like any type of, and it can be a scale of reactions that Lindsay could have presented.
We don't know. Yeah,
we don't know. And so like, I'm imagining worst case scenario.
I want everyone to know what I would do in this. Even if Lindsay was fully activated, right? How dare you come for my fucking boyfriend? I feel like him in a sexual way. I would too, but I would hold it.
What?
I would hold it because that would anger Lindsay. And what I would say is, you can come smoke a J2, girl. Like I would say something like that. Like, we're not leaving you out.
It's not that deep.
And she'd be like, you're fucking hitting on my boyfriend. You think this is funny? And I'd say something like, listen, if I get the whole joint, that's fine too. Like whatever you guys want to do.
I can do it by myself. I'm if you need that time. Yeah.
I'm fully unbothered.
I think I would just be wide-eyed, just so shocked. Like, what?
I know. I feel like I'm dating Oliver.
It would make me actually want to start going after Carl to be like, fuck you.
Be like, you think he'd be into me?
Yeah. Wait, you think we could have a relationship? Lindsay, thank you for wing womaning me.
Oh my God, she would murder us. Okay, so then after we talk about Maya getting her whole life ruined or whatever, we meet Sam. She just walks in. Sam's here. She lives here already. So
yeah, seriously.
This is Amanda's friend. She meets everyone. She's a content creator. She's 25. And Paige looks at her and goes, so tell me everything, which I never do with new people because I don't care. Paige figures this out because Sam literally tells her everything. I'm not going to go through it because I don't even care.
I love the editing. I love when like editors do this to people. I bet that conversation was 3 minutes long, but even if it wasn't long, I love when they do this to people.
They pulled the Dorit edit, right? Because Dorit's very long-winded. They pulled that on this bitch. We just keep hearing her talk. Anyway, Paige says it's her own fault. She said, tell me everything, but she didn't know Sam was going to start the minute of conception. Truly. But basically, Sam works at Cosmo. She's the New York stereotype, work hard, play hard. And then this is wild. This is not 25, be clear. So she wakes up at 7. She gets 10K steps before 10 a.m. She works for 10 hours. She goes to dinner. She goes to a club until 3 a.m. And then she does it all again.
If you go to a club till 3 a.m., how do you get up at 7?
We're running on 4 hours.
That's all I need to know. No, less than 4 hours. She has to go home, do her nighttime routine, fall asleep. Like, unrealistic. You're lying.
I woke up at 5 a.m. to watch this episode because that's how dedicated. I'm running on 5.5 hours of sleep and I want to die. So
I
4 hours every night.
PM last night and slept till 8.
4 hours every night.
I got 10 hours of sleep last night. That's how much I need.
This girl's not happy. She's not. So, great. Hilarious. Anyway, now it's 9:13. I don't like Sam
I don't like
that.
Sam.
Only because of that.
Here's the thing. I think a lot of people come on reality TV and play a character, and this feels like a character to me. This whole like, this is my life. If that really truly is your life, I feel sorry for you.
I don't know what this is. This is not living.
This
you should sleep for half your life. You should. Like, sorry. Anyway, now it's 9:13 p.m. Carl and Lindsay roll up while Sam's getting her stuff. Sam's very nice. She handshakes Carl. She hugs Lindsay. Lindsay is surprised at this hug because women, but you know. So everyone's super awkward when they see Lindsay and Carl. The editing is prime time. Everyone looks pissed to see her. Yeah. Maya feels really awkward. It's great. Whatever. Anyway, Paige. Before summer, Paige texted Lindsay and said, "Hey, I don't care about anything we fought about in the past. I want to move on." And Lindsay says, "Same." So Paige is like very mature on my end. We're starting fresh. But I already know that's not going to happen because these two cannot help but fucking fight with each other.
But I think it was a good step because
I think it was a good step because Paige can now say
who needs help like me or like needs a mental reminder like me. Their last two on-camera interactions, they filmed Winter House and then they had the reunion, and the reunion Paige would not look them in the eyes. So I think like an icebreaker like that text was needed.
Paige did good. Paige did really good.
This is like very mature.
Yeah. So I immediately go, oh my God, Lindsay's going to be so pissed about the rooms. She's surprisingly not, but I wish she was.
Yeah, anyway, but you know there is no way she will share, have a room with a shared bed.
That was why I was like, is there only one room with it? Not, but you're
Kyle
right.
and Amanda would have to share before Carl and Lindsay.
I agree. But they do get, the bed to themselves. They get a room. It's fine. Anyway, Carl and Lindsay and Kyle go outside to talk. And Kyle's like, yeah, there's only 3 dudes this year. And Carl's really sad because he wanted some cool guys to hang out with because it's been a long time with Kyle. And Kyle's immediately like, ouch.
It's when your friendship is already on like a little rocky grounds, you can't even throw out jokes like this.
No,
because then it doesn't hit right.
Carl does tell us like he loves Kyle, but they work together and it's been a little rocky. And Carl's figuring out if Loverboy's for him. And he just like wanted to mix up with dudes. But you know what I think? Can I tell you my theory?
Yeah.
I think Carl has really lost himself in his relationship with Lindsay. And I think he lost a lot of his friends. And I think the only one he's kept is Kyle because of work. So I think Carl's like, I need to make new guy friends because I don't have any anymore because all I have is Lindsay in my life.
Earlier when we were talking about that, like Lindsay and Carl as a relationship, I was thinking they're one of those couples that you are just never with because being with them is not fun.
No.
And they are just all like focused on each other that it's like, all right, we separately don't have a one-on-one relationship. It's the couple has relationship with me, and that's not how relationships work.
They're totally one of those where if you text Lindsay like, hey, you want to grab dinner? She goes, Carl and I are in. And you go, I didn't invite
like Carl. That. Like I wanted time with you. And then it becomes a thing. So you can't say anything about like, well, I just wanted to spend time with you.
Why can't Carl come? Yeah. He's my other half. You should love him. And it's like, I do. I just don't care about him as much. Yeah. I don't know. That's what this is. I really think Carl lost all of his guy friends. And I think he's looking for new ones. Thank you. It's just a theory. No one quote me. No one
they have Luke, but again, that's like a couple friend, and like
Luke's in Minnesota.
Exactly. Like, how often is Luke really in New York to be a consistent friend?
No one come at me like Carl's got all the guy friends. I don't know. This is my speculation. That's what I would assume.
No, I have not ever thought about that. Hot take right
there. It's a good theory, isn't it? Okay, so back in the house, Kyle proposes a nighttime pool party. Sounds super fun. So you either have to decorate or grill or cook. You get options. Anyway, some of the girls are cooking and Lindsay asks what drinks we have. And Sam's like, we have rosé. And Paige is like, oh, Lindsay doesn't drink, which is fair because the last time she saw Lindsay, Lindsay was sober.
And Paige follows up with some non-alcoholic options. Yeah. Like they are ready.
We have a Coke.
Yep.
Yeah. She's like, we have a Coke. And Lindsay's like, oh, actually, I do drink. And she explains that Carl's sober. So Lindsay's like also sober, but she can drink, which I'm sure for the outsiders a little confusing. So Lindsay shares that she was with Aunt Rhonda at Easter. and she wanted to have wine with her aunt. So she had wine with her aunt, and that's fine. So now her rule is she can drink, just don't black out, which is fair. I've always said, like, she doesn't have to be sober. Carl does for his health, for his well-being. Lindsay did it for Carl, which is nice, but she's an adult. She can do whatever she wants.
And I think that, like, I really commend Lindsay getting sober to help Carl in his sobriety for that moment in time. But I think similarly how, like, we talked about Carl getting lost in the relationship, this is a way, like, I think Lindsay kind of got lost in the relationship, is being sober just for Carl.
Yes.
So I'm kind of happy that maybe Aunt Rhonda time kind of brought her back to herself, and like things like she does enjoy drinking and it's okay.
Who's hoping for an Aunt Rhonda FaceTime call? Me.
I fucking love Aunt Rhonda. I want Aunt Rhonda to visit. Let's have another mom's weekend. Yeah.
Sharon and Aunt Rhonda again. For the first time since they're dating.
And Kyle's mom. I love Kyle's mom.
Amazing. She's great too. Okay, so Chris wants to know how we're going to sleep. So there's lots of beds. We just have to share rooms. And Paige is like, maybe, and Paige is a really good idea. Maybe if you're like not a couple, we can float around this summer. So depending on who's in the house, we like switch up bedrooms. Genius. What a great idea. And of all people to suggest it.
Yes.
Paige.
I think this was actually really smart, because I think this will make newcomers feel a little bit more welcome and help build relationships a little faster with the new people. And I'll call them the middle people, because we have the OGs, the middle tier, and the new people.
Yeah. And I also think this is a good idea, right? Because like, depending on who's in the house, like maybe it's Sam, Gabby, and Paige, and like Sam doesn't want to share with Gabby and Paige, so she can have a different room, and like we can bounce around. It's fun. Chris, though, I think is always going to kind of have his own room.
That is, I was thinking through that whenever we were talking about rooms at the top of the episode, of like, there's not another single bedroom for the one extra guy. So
it'll be like when Corey comes to visit, we know, because he's in the preview.
That's true. Andrea comes to visit.
So Chris will be ready to share with an extra person.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah. Great. So, whatever. Oh, Kyle's like, maybe it can be a swingers house, and everyone laughs except Carl and Lindsay. They don't laugh because they're not swingers.
Fucking joke.
They're in love, babe.
I know. Oh, babe.
So it's 10:22 p.m. Put your swimsuits on for dinner. Carl offers Chris, anything you need, I'm here for you. So they have a nice combo. Carl's talking about how he gets up early. He gets up at 7 to work out. He's going to Barry's boot camp. Have you ever done Barry's boot camp? And Chris goes, I've done actual boot camp. And I was like, Carl, you dick. Like, dick.
I am happy Carl has something that like brings him joy. I think it's so funny. Like, that was like the third time he's mentioned, hey, we like, to someone, we're doing berries in the morning. And I'm like, classic. They've done berries for years now, but they've never talked about it like this. Like,
no, they did it that one season. Remember when Carl like asked the instructor out on a date?
It was that season like of Lindsay and Carl, and then in front of Lindsay, he asked that girl on a date.
I'm surprised she let him go back there.
Like, I think Luke went, but like,
yeah,
they're like trying to recruit people.
Listen, I'm not trying to be rude, because it's cool if fitness is a personality trait of yours. If you want to do that, that's fine. I tell Meredith all the time I go to salad court. That's fine. Their main personality trait is A, they're sober, B, they do Barry's boot camp. Like, that's all I know about
7 in the morning. Like, those
8 a.m.
doesn't scream fun time to me personally.
Yeah. Okay, great. So Chris is not gonna commit to Barry's. He's like,
I'll let you know.
But yeah, so we find out that Chris was a Marine. And Carl goes, so is my grandpa. And I was like, what a great.
He says like I don't know what it's actually called, but it's like a Latin phrase, like a greeting or something. I don't know what it is in the Marines, but he says it to him. And I think Chris thought Carl was a Marine too for a minute, until he goes, my grandpa was. I was like, not the same.
This is, you know how girls have had trouble making friends in this house?
Yes.
This is Carl having a little bit of trouble to try and relate.
I think he forgot how to make guy friends.
Yep, for sure. So now Gabby, Paige, and Maya are going to share the big master. Gabby calls dibs on the best closet spots. And she's just basically like, I'm letting you know this is what I'm doing. And Paige is like, I know what you're going to do, you little bitch. You're going to take all the long spots. And Gabby's like, yeah, but I'm telling you, I'm going to do it. So like, great. And this is where I loved Gabby. This is where I was like, she can come back anytime.
She can hold her own clearly.
Yes. So cough. Maya's sad. She tells Paige she's sad because she didn't say anything to Carl and they like don't have a relationship anymore. And Paige says, Carl probably misses you too, Maya. You should go talk to him. He'll be receptive of it. And a lot of people are giving Paige slack where like they're like, Maya should have talked to Lindsay. Fine. But like Maya's not concerned with her relationship with Lindsay. She's concerned with her relationship with Carl.
It's though in the context of the conversation they're having right now, they were talking about the friendship with Carl. So I didn't think that Maya was going to go in and say, Lindsay said this to me. I thought the intention was, hey, Maya, if you're upset that your like friendship with Carl isn't there, go talk to Carl about like how you're sad you don't have a friendship with him. And that's also, a good advice.
Yeah. And Paige says Carl's going to be most receptive. Because out of the two of them, who's more receptive?
Yes.
Carl.
Yes.
Okay.
This isn't like the Sierra fight from last year where like Paige is gassing her up. This is a totally different.
This is context. Very nice.
Yes.
So it's 10:28. Kyle sings, "Have you seen my penis?" I laughed.
I just like this is the version of like I don't want Kyle to ever grow up.
Yes. So Kyle then goes in the kitchen and he's like, look at these speakers. I'm pointing the speakers at the kitchen because that's where we're hanging out. But do you think the speakers should go this way? And Carl's in the kitchen. He is totally ignoring Kyle, doesn't care where the speakers fucking go.
And they're the only ones in the kitchen. Like you can't ignore someone like this when it's just you two.
It's rough. So then it's 10:37. Lindsay and Gabby are now in the kitchen. Gabby touches Lindsay's boobs. I love that Gabby's just like, are they real? And
me too. But I hated how Carl was like, oh, are you touching my babe's boobs? I was like,
and then he also touches them like Gabby, where it was just like a poke.
No. Just because one person is talking to one half of the relationship doesn't mean the other person has to get involved in the conversation.
That's where it gets weird. Okay, so it's 10:56. Maya's sharing that she's very happy with Oliver right now. She loves him. Sorry it doesn't work out, girl.
I feel like we're going to go off a cliff with that relationship and it makes me sad.
I don't know what happens with this.
I don't either.
So Chris and Sam talk and everyone's going to wonder if they're going to hook up. We'll see. It's two hot people, so chances are high. So now it's dinner time. Finally, 11:15. Jesus, I'm starving. We're also going to bring the food over by the game so we can eat and drink. And then immediately Miles like, hey, Carl, can we chat? And I'm like, great. Now, I think we should get through the conversation and talk about our opinions. Does that work?
Yes.
Okay, so Maya wants to check in. Carl's like, yeah, I just moved in with Lindsay. And Maya's like, that's fantastic. And she says she's very supportive of their relationship. And Carl's like, I didn't think you were actually. And Maya's like, well, I had a bad
he said I didn't think you weren't.
Oh, I thought he said I didn't think you were.
No, he was like, oh, I didn't know that needed to be specified. I never thought you weren't.
Shout out, whatever. But then Maya said she had a very bad conversation with Lindsay. Carl said he's not smoking weed anymore, just FYI. And Maya's like, well, I didn't know that. And then this is where Carl has an interview where he's like, I'm what you call California sober. And we're very familiar with that. We've watched a lot of Bravo, whatever.
James Kennedy was on that train.
That's all I think of. So Carl's like, why are we even talking about this? We haven't spoken since LA. And Maya said, in LA, she was told it was not appropriate to speak to him. And she's never been talked to that way. And Lindsay spoke to her like she's not a human. And Carl didn't feel that way. And Maya said she never has come towards Carl in a sexual way. And Carl's like, I agree. And then Maya said it hurt because she would never. And then she starts to cry and she says she cares for Carl. And Carl says he wasn't in the car, but his priority is Lindsay. So he's navigating friendships that he had now with Lindsay in the picture. And Maya gets it. Like, you got to do what's best for you. And then the conversation ends when Kyle walks over and goes, what's up, guys?
Hilarious. So, I think best that Kyle did walk over at that time.
I have thoughts because I am usually Maya. I have a lot of guy friends.
Yeah.
And they tend to get girlfriends. And I have to fully understand that they are probably going to pick their girlfriend over me. Okay. I'm not happy about it, but that's reality.
Yeah.
Maya, I think it's very valid, your feelings. I'd be so sad if my friendship changed, if we were smoking J's all the time and that's just our hangout.
Yeah.
Now, the wrong way to say this is your girlfriend attacked me and your girlfriend made me seem like I'm not a human because he's going to pick Lindsay over you.
Yes.
Period.
And he wasn't there to be like, you're right.
He wasn't there.
And like correct Lindsay or something.
The right way to do this, Maya, is to go, I really miss you. Lindsay she's told me that she felt like I was coming across in like a sexual way. I want you to know it was never that way. And Carl would say, like, I never thought that way. She'd be like, okay, I just want to like, with Lindsay in mind, like, I would like to get our friendship back because like, I do miss you as a friend.
Yes.
And Carl could have been like, great, don't attack Lindsay. He's going to shut you out.
Exactly. Like you're helping build a wall between you and him now. Yes. Because Lindsay can always point to this conversation and say, see, she thinks I'm XYZ.
And I'm not saying that Carl is right? When Carl says he's
no, but this is what's going to like, this is what being in you have to expect this out of a person in a relationship.
Yes, because especially someone who's lost in the sauce of their relationship, which is these two people.
Yes.
So like, Carl saying I'm re-navigating friendships I had before with Lindsay in mind, that's awful. I absolutely
that tells you everything that you need to know.
But for Maya to also be like, I get that, you have to do what's good for you, that shows Maya is like not into Carl. She's just not that into you. Like,
well, and I think it shows that Maya is not expecting them to actually have a friendship. Like she can see the writing on the wall and like this is just how it's going to be.
Do I think Lindsay's crazy for thinking that Maya's into Carl? A little, yeah. But like, Maya, you got to know how to handle this. You got to know your second best.
Because she also didn't tee it up well for Carl then to introspective be like, oh, wow, did my girlfriend tell off my friend and ruin a friendship for me?
Yeah.
Do I need to have a relationship with a conversation with my girlfriend on how to treat my friends to make sure I can still have friends and be in a relationship and like prioritize Lindsay while still maintaining other friendships.
Exactly. So now it's 11:50 and Lindsay and Carl talk. I say again, we get through the conversation and talk about it. So Carl tells Lindsay what Maya said, point blank too. He doesn't like fuck it up or like say weird shit. Lindsay said that she's allowed to set boundaries in her own relationship. And Carl tells Lindsay that Maya didn't feel like it was disrespectful. And Lindsay says, are you kidding? To which I thought, are we missing a part of the story? So let's listen. So Lindsay does expect Maya to know what's happening in Carl's life because Carl was sober and struggling. And here's Maya saying, we're going to smoke a J. So that's what set Lindsay off.
I thought Lindsay said she doesn't expect Maya to know what's going on, but expects her to ask.
Oh, maybe. Yes, you're right.
Which I was like, that's a lot of like, what?
You're right. She doesn't expect, but she expects her to ask because Carl was struggling. Lindsay got sober to support him. And Lindsay felt Maya was doing the opposite of that. And Lindsay's pissed because she's the adult in this situation. So let's dissect this. Let's talk about Lindsay setting boundaries in her relationship.
I don't understand the boundary that was quote unquote Lindsay thinks she's setting here. Like what, making it clear that Maya is not to have a romantic or sexual relationship with Carl? Because like, I thought that was fucking obvious.
That was an issue.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. If Lindsay wants to set boundaries for herself, that's fine. If Carl wants to set boundaries for himself, that's fine. If we're setting a boundary for the relationship, both parties should be involved in that boundary. Lindsay shouldn't be making boundaries for the relationship without discussing it with Carl. Because if she had said, Carl, I don't love that Maya's texting you, he would have said, it's not in a sexual way. We're just going to smoke some weed. Like very normal.
And it needs to be Carl's decision to not then communicate with Maya. Like her dictating what he can and can't do is going to rub his friends the wrong way, even if he doesn't want to, like, does or doesn't want to follow Lindsay's rules. Like, whatever that is, Lindsay communicating that is going to cause problems.
Exactly.
And that's kind of rude, first off.
It is rude. Randomly. So then we have Lindsay saying, like, it is disrespectful. Are you kidding me? Maya should ask, which, like, if I just saw Carl at Family Feud and he seemed fine, I'm not that sexually or attractively into him if I'm not saying, how are you? What's new?
Yeah.
I'm just like, you looked fine. Should we smoke a joint?
You're making, like, you're putting all this pressure on Maya to know exactly what's going on in your life and constantly ask about it, when, like, this is clearly a very touchy topic. And I think a lot of people in the Bravo sphere knew that Carl was struggling with his sobriety, but you don't always want to ask, because, like, I wouldn't ask if I was, like, a friend of somebody, like, who wasn't as close. Like, Kyle asking about Carl's sobriety is different than Maya asking about his sobriety. Like, I wouldn't want to put pressure, or, like, I would want you to come to me with, like, what you, like, are feeling about that, or, like, what you need, or to like, Carl needs to shut Maya down if, like, smoking isn't a thing anymore.
Yes. And also, if Maya knew, right? Maya knows Carl's sober, but they have smoked together in the past. She's probably not thinking he's struggling with smoking weed and then drinking. Yeah. She's probably like, it's totally
that's
fine.
A boundary that Carl needs to set.
And it's not Maya's responsibility to know what's happening with Carl. It is Carl's responsibility to tell Maya, I'm struggling a little bit, if he wants her to know. The other point of this is when Maya said, LOL, I texted Carl to smoke. Lindsay, instead of freaking out and saying, stop hitting on my boyfriend or whatever, should have said something of, actually, like, I think that's inappropriate because Carl's struggling with his sobriety. So he shouldn't be smoking weed. Like, where is this you're into him thing coming up?
I thought the same thing, Alicia. I was like, that is insane to me that you expect her to ask how things are going, but whenever something gets brought up and is, like, in the conversation, you can't approach her with that it's her responsibility to ask in order to get that information.
And then you make up this thing like you're trying to get with my boy. Like, no, what?
Also, while she's with Oliver, like, she also has someone, and this is also Lindsay's friend.
Like, I can't.
If this were, like, a hometown friend of Carl's, there's always, like, movies about that where, like, some girl's trying to get with my man. I would totally understand Lindsay's reaction if it was just, like, Carl's friend. But Maya. This is your Maya friend too.
You've watched Maya and Carl make their relationship. Like, you're there. Like, I just
I don't know if it had aired at this point. FYI.
Oh, maybe. But basically, this made zero sense to me. I don't know why, if Lindsay's an adult, she can't just say, like, Kyle, or Carl is struggling. Even if she didn't want to say, like, all the details, she could have been like, you know what, like, Carl's having a hard time with his sobriety. I don't know. As his girlfriend, I don't think this is a good idea right now. Yeah. You can talk to him about it, but, like, I don't love it. Great. Yeah. Fine. Fucking whatever. So weird. Anyway, let's go on.
Yeah.
I already hate this relationship. Anyway, it's 12:05 a.m. We're doing shots. We're swimming. It's cold. So everyone gets out. And at 12:13, everyone's inside. Carl and Lindsay are going to go to bed because berries. And
I am pissed about this. I know it becomes a highlight later, and I'll talk about it then.
So Kyle wants to play music because we're going to have a dance party, because that's what we do on Friday nights at the summer house. But Amanda's like, hey, there's people going to bed. So Kyle's like, fuck.
I immediately thought of the COVID summer when Hannah and Paige asked for that music to be turned down because the speaker was actually inside the house. And I was like, they all screamed at them, like Hannah and Paige, wanting that music to be turned down. So hell no, we're not turning that down. Crank that.
We're playing it.
I'm so vindictive like that. I'm like, fuck you.
So Kyle's like, yeah, Carl's been sober. He was sober last summer, but he wasn't, like, rallying people to be like, hey, do you want to go to Barry's at 8 a.m. with us?
Yeah.
Also, I'd be like, no, not with you two.
Sober Carl from last year, which he is definitely further along in his sobriety journey this year, but, like, sober Carl last year was a different vibe for
he
sure.
Would still party sober, but, like, wake up.
Like, I'm pretty sure he even still did, like, water shot, he would collectively be a part of it, of their drinking, without consuming anything himself,
instead of isolating like he's doing now. So it's 12:33 a.m. Amanda, Paige, and Gabby are hanging out. Did you know Leonardo da Vinci stayed in this house?
My God.
And someone's like, that's not possible. Do you mean DiCaprio?
Well, like, how crazy DiCaprio, like, stayed in that house.
I wonder whose bed he was in.
I wonder if it had 9 bedrooms or 5.
9. He's Leonardo DiCaprio. So then we get drunk Kyle, my favorite character in the summer house.
So good.
He's in the kitchen. He's alone. He's eating chips. But he's also like, I think on a keto diet.
Yeah.
Again, it's drunk rambling, but like fuck his keto diet.
He's
also,
eating that cookie dough.
He found a keto bar. So he's gonna eat that protein bar because he eats a lot of protein bars. So now he's talking about protein bars. And then his towel falls off and he's like, oh fuck. And it was so funny.
So
this
good.
Is the Kyle I want. I want him up
actually
alone.
This is the most consistent relationship in the house. Kyle with the kitchen
at night drunk. It's amazing. So now it's Saturday, 7:16 a.m. Carl and Lindsay are obviously up going to their workout. And then Carl says Lindsay has always been a light in his life and he can completely be himself around her. And she likes that. And he's happy and in love.
I'm really happy for him on like a personal level.
Yeah, Chris goes on a run. He doesn't go to Barry's. He does his own thing.
Which like work out. Like this house, everybody still like does like routines, but you don't need an 8 a.m. Barry's class.
Absolutely not. So it's 9:53 a.m. Carl and Lindsay are back. Sam's like, I want to come to Barry's at some point. One of those like, ha, you know.
I think she's trying to like make
a relationship
with every single person, but I'm like, girly, this ain't it. This is not the one, I promise.
No. So Sam, Gabby, Paige, and Amanda are hanging out in the big double master bedroom.
I'm excited about the girl chats that are gonna happen throughout the season. Too.
In this big room, in this it's gonna big be ass room.
More girls come in, like the new girls want to come in because like there's 2 beds.
I can't wait. So Sam feels really comfortable here, and Amanda's happy because her fear was kind of making strangers sleep together, which is like a fair fear that I also have. But they also feel tension between Maya, Carl, and Lindsay. And everyone's like, well, Lindsay and Carl brought the tension, which I like kind of agree with. Mm-hmm. Also, we find out Amanda tells us Kyle's a little sad because he lost his buddy to Lindsay, which I don't think that's entirely true. I think there's a lot of factors, like the fact that they work for an alcohol company together and they work together and Carl's sober. I think there's a lot of things.
Yeah.
But Kyle is still sad because his friendship changed. And I get that.
Yes. I understand Kyle being sad. I don't think Lindsay's to blame in that one, if I'm honest.
No. I think Carl is, and I think Kyle is, but I don't think Lindsay is.
No, I do not blame Lindsay at all in that situation.
So then we get this camera shot in the kitchen, right? We're like in the kitchen, whatever. Chris gets back from his run, doesn't matter. Lindsay's going to go.
This is the best of the worst scenes.
Yeah. So Lindsay's going to go upstairs, but she walks past the couch and Carl's there laying down and he's like, babe. And so he pops up and they're talking. And then we get a shot of Kyle and Lindsay and Carl are behind him. And Kyle just kind of looks and then he goes back and he stares and he's like, ah, shit.
He like won't look at them. I've been in those moments where you're like pretending you don't see people. You're just staring into the abyss, waiting for them to leave so then you can just go about your day.
Or to notice you and be like, Kyle, come over here.
Yes. Acknowledge you. Hey, good morning, Kyle. Like nothing.
So it is 4th of July weekend. We are getting ready to go out. Amanda's air wrapping Kyle's mullet. Paige tells everyone she can't drink tequila anymore. And Maya's fucking heartbroken. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to Maya. But let's go. It's boys' car, girls' car with Lindsay, I assume in boys' car, but whatever.
Lindsay has to because Carl's driving.
We don't know. We don't get a shot. Anyway, it's 2:18 p.m. We're at a pool party. The big bottle of rosé is back.
This is a staple in Summer House.
That's amazing. This pool. I appreciate Chris taking it. He obviously was very excited about this. And I love a newbie with a giant bottle of rosé.
Hell yeah.
Sam can take 1 tequila shot and then she's off the deep end, which, girl, you're on the wrong show.
I was going to say, honey, you got to get that alcohol tolerance higher.
This is wrong for you, girl. Go to Southern Charm. They're a little better. Everyone asks Chris about Sam, and he just says they're vibing. Lindsay and Carl are taking pictures by themselves, but Chris is like, hey, guys, come join us. And they're like, oh, okay. They're clearly trying to isolate themselves, and they want someone to say, come over here. They're not always going to get that.
Like, you guys are the OGs. You are the ones who should be, like, inviting the newbies into your conversation.
Yeah, it's weird. It's super weird. Anyway, we ordered chicken tenders. Maya, Amanda, and Paige then talk about how Craig and Paige are happy. And Paige does feel a lot of pressure to move in together, but they're really good at long distance. And I think like if it works for you, it works for you.
I think they are. I think it works for them. I'm enjoying. I am not a fan of long distance, but I think they crush it.
The thing is, I don't want Paige to move, and I don't want Craig on Summer House.
I agree. I think she would have to leave Summer House, but I think they would always have a quote unquote residence in each city, if I'm honest.
I can't have Paige leave New York. Not yet. I'm not ready.
I know. But I think you better prepare for it. I think the next 2 years.
2 years.
Permanent address will be Charleston.
Absolutely not. Anyway, Kyle and Gabby talk about Gabby's type. Carl's great. Carl loves a good newbie girl. He's so nice to them. Kyle, whoops.
Carl I was like, Carl is not welcoming.
Carl doesn't notice anyone but Lindsay. Kyle, he really tries to bond with the newbie girls. Not in a creepy way, but in like
no, I was about to say, for as much as I just shit on him for like, oh, I'm in charge of this house, this is where he excels, is he like manages the people really well and like isn't just stuck and glued to Amanda's side. Like he tries to make a relationship, because remember, Summer House started with friends and this only works if people are friends. And so he takes that to heart and truly tries to become friends with every person that shows up on this show.
Fantastic. So Gabby says she loves a shallow man, like a male model.
I was like,
that was so funny.
You were so honest. This is too honest.
And then she's even like, it obviously hasn't worked out. So like, fuck me, right? And so Kyle's like, let's do a lap and you point out your type to me. And I was
obsessed.
Like, I want Kyle as my girlfriend.
I'm like, when and where, Kyle? I'm ready to go to a bar and do this.
I love this. So they're doing a lap and they find Maurice, who I think like invited them to this pool party.
They said hi to him on the way, and he's obviously a gay guy, like super fun character.
Kyle's like, we're finding Gabby, someone tall, dark, and handsome. And he's like, wrong type. Anyway, then we meet Jerez, who is Chris's friend, and Carl's pumped because more guys, more dudes, more.
This is the first spark in Carl's eye that we have seen this entire episode.
Yeah, not that fake spark with the nurse's outfit, because that wasn't real.
Stop! Don't even compare these two moments.
This is genuine happiness.
Yes.
People I did see were still like, convince me Carl's not gay. A lot of Twitter. I don't think he's gay, but
I don't think he's gay.
I think he needs boyfriends.
I think he's finally at this moment in his life realizing he doesn't really have any friends anymore.
Yep. So Jerez is hot. I think so. And does Gabby. And Gabby said she was just manifesting this exact man because,
I'm excited. She's a witch. This guy better be around multiple times. This better be the new Oliver of this season.
I'm so excited that Gabby's a witch. This is the best part of my day. Anyway, Lindsay and Gabby are talking, and Gabby's like, that's my dream man. And Lindsay's like, let's go over to talk to the guys. And Lindsay goes, what are we doing here? Like immediately inserts. And Gabby's like, hey. And so she meets her hot man. And then she's like, how did you and Chris meet? And Chris is like, we met at salsa class. Hot.
I was immediate, like, whoa.
Both of them. Chris went from a 6 to a 10.
Love this. And then of course Chris like starts showing off his moves and grabs Sam, but Sam was not ready for this. And this is not like a cute dance because it's like awkward. But I was like, if a guy told me he knows how to dance, like throw me around a bit.
Hot. He's a 6, but he knows how to salsa dance.
10.
A 10. Immediately. Okay, so it's raining, but we're still gonna party. Then Kyle and Maya talk, and Kyle says last night was the lamest night in the Hamptons he's ever had.
I agree, and this is the first night. We are not tired. We just started.
I agree, because it was lame to watch.
Like, so I'm sorry. This is where I need to say my piece about this is like Lindsay and Carl. I understand you want to go to Barry's tomorrow morning, and I understand that you are now like sober, don't drink, don't black out. And I understand that like you don't want to do what's happening outside, then don't be on this show. Like, I am happy for you personally those are all the things that you want to do with your life, but that no longer aligns with this show. So if you're gonna be on this show, you gotta show up.
You got to show up or just come for a fucking weekend and then leave.
Yes, you don't need to be main cast members.
I can't do this all summer. Like
No.
I appreciate Lindsay doesn't want to get activated, but that is 95% of why she is a staple. I understand Carl doesn't drink, and that is so great, but you would still be fun.
Yes.
We don't have to do this. Oh, we're 80 years old and our health is so important, and like we have to work out, and you should work out with us. They're like shaming the rest of the house, like you should also work out. You know, I'd be
it's
like
they want
no.
It feels like they don't really want to miss out on the fun, so they want to make the fun part their workout. Like they want everybody to come and like have a good time in what they're doing and what they find fun now.
Yeah, and I think it'd be fun, right? Everyone's like, we're gonna go to one Barry's class and try it out together.
Would be a great moment.
That'd be absolutely hilarious if we could get cameras in, because let me tell you, if there's no cameras, I don't give a fuck if they do this class. But like, it's not an everyday fucking thing. Also, Paige is not gonna go to a Barry's class, and also like, I just want to see you get drunk and fight and like jump in the pool and strip. Like,
yes,
if you're not gonna do any of those things, if you're just gonna make out and sleep. It's just not necessary for you to be here. Point blank, period, I guess.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Okay, so Kyle and Maya continue their conversation. Kyle says, like, yeah, Lindsay and Carl are two of my best friends, but they really do affect the mood.
Mm-hmm.
And work-wise, Carl and Kyle have been a little weird. But it didn't start being challenging until recently. Since April, Carl has been kind of checked out, and Kyle's like a little scared to talk to Carl. And I get that, because like a work relationship and a friendship.
Yeah.
Like if we technically we have a work and a friendship relationship, right? This could be counted as a job. And if I had to be like, Meredith, you're fucking slacking, that would terrify me to bring that up.
I agree.
Because I love you.
I agree. Like, luckily, like, it's just like it's always naturally progressed, and like when we can both do stuff. But like, if it became a consistent thing that you were like, I'm busy every single night, I'd be like, I don't know what you want me to do, and it would really affect our friendship.
I think the difference is right where we both like love doing this, even if it like sleep deprives us and it's annoying sometimes. We love this podcast so much. I think Carl has lost his love for Loverboy, right? It's hard to work for an alcohol company when you're sober. I get that. But I think as Carl, right, he should have maybe like, I know if I'm going to slack, I'm going to be like, Meredith, I'm just hitting a wall. Like my mental health is struggling. And I think you would be receptive to be like,
absolutely.
Okay, maybe we like
pause.
Maybe we don't do as detailed recaps. Maybe we like don't do a pre-show for a little bit. Anything.
Yeah.
So
you would have to say it. Like Carl has to say that to Kyle.
Yeah, and Kyle can't be like, you're slacking, because it is his company, right? He's going to be like, I can't have people slacking.
And Amanda did an interview this week saying that Kyle's never been Carl's manager. And like, that is like really smart to set it up that way. So it's even more difficult to be like, hey, as your CEO president, you're slacking. Someone who would never give you that feedback is even more challenging.
Yeah. And I think the other thing is, I'm not saying like Carl does this or anything, but I get a vibe, right? That Carl doesn't want to take direction from Kyle. Mm-hmm. But if one person's in a CEO level, whether that's your friend, your sister, your whatever, you have to kind of respect that business level, right?
Yeah.
You can't, and I mean, on the show, Kyle and Carl are equals, but in Loverboy, they're not. Yeah. Like, period. So I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Kyle should want Lindsay and Carl together, and he doesn't want Carl to think he doesn't support him and like the relationship, but there's like something he feels is off, like something that's just not there.
Yeah.
And we all feel it, Kyle. Okay, so now it's Saturday, 7:21 p.m. We made it home. We're tired because we don't get another scene until 9:54 p.m. So there was a nap happening.
Like, scatters to their rooms. It like this mood is off in this group.
Yes.
People aren't good. Like hanging out, but like back in the day, they would like be raging in the kitchen together at this point, and like one or two people would go lay down.
I genuinely need like Corey to come, or even Danielle. Danielle's always the one to be like dance party.
Yeah.
I think Sierra would love a good dance party.
I just need more energy. The energy is like These are people who like feed off of other people's energy. And you're right. Danielle and Sierra and Corey are like upbeat people.
Like, I think Danielle and Kyle, right? The two of them, they could start a mini party. Maybe Gabby would then be like, this is lit, Chris. Do I think Paige is going to nap? Yes, 1,000%. Do I think Carl and Lindsay kill the mood? Sure. But if they're gone, blast that music, bitch. Let's go.
Like, they couldn't tank it if like other more upbeat people were here.
Yes. We need literally bring Craig to like start anything.
It's so sad. The people, like, you are not a Sierra stan and you're like, give me Sierra. Like, give me anyone.
Do I want Austin?
Who? I would fucking take Austin at this rate because he would bring something.
I just need someone to help Kyle's energy. Gabby is too new still.
Yep.
And Paige likes to sleep. And Maya's not there. Maya's not that type of person.
No.
I just need Danielle to like.
I need Kyle to have a buddy, and because they would be having fun, then like 2 more people would go hang out with them.
Chris, you gotta fucking step up, man. This is your time to fucking.
You guys get
shine.
1 weekend to be boring. By the 4th of July, I want this place lit.
So at 9:54, Chris is a little off, and for a little bit, I'm like, is he okay? He's missing a pillow. I don't know how he notices, but okay.
I was confused. Was this there at one point and now is missing? Like, do we think someone stole it? I couldn't figure out what was going on.
No, but he's really upset.
But they pointed it out, so I had an interest in where this pillow went.
Yeah, like he's really upset about it.
I'm upset because I want more information now. And like they pointed it out for no reason.
Yeah. So then Lindsay asked Carl, like, you want to go hang out with the house? And Carl's like, no, I'm done. No. If you're on a TV show,
this is your job.
This is when we're mad when the housewives don't share everything because that's their one job. Your one job is to go hang out with these people for a fucking weekend. You go do your job or don't take your paycheck and get out. Get out of my house.
Like, you left the group early last night, so you can't do this 2 nights in a row.
Go downstairs, make some fucking dinner, play some fucking music, have a water shot, and go to bed. But like, do something. Because what a stupid ass Saturday night. Talk with someone else
outside of your relationship.
Can we agree this was lamer than Friday? Because it was.
And how could you get lamer than Friday?
Everyone goes to bed at 10 p.m. Lovely. We're not asking for a lot, okay?
No.
Just asking for a little bit. Anyway, it's Sunday morning now, and Carl and Lindsay are upset because they didn't do berries. Fuck off. Now, I didn't think I would get this mad because I wasn't this mad watching it.
I was this mad. That's why I told you I have some thoughts. Like, I have just feelings, I guess, not really thoughts. This better be the bottom. We better have a like tick, 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 tick up.
So Carl hasn't asked about Italy because Kyle, I guess, went on an Italy trip. And Kyle hasn't asked Carl about their move. And both these friends know they're slacking in the friend department, but they're like waiting for the other one to make a move.
They're avoiding asking about each other's life. I don't know why.
Carl says he loves Kyle as a friend and doesn't want to lose that if he quits Loverboy. So he should maybe go put some effort into this friendship.
Yes. I don't. Carl realizes that quitting Loverboy is not what is going to tank their relationship.
No, it's going to be not asking about Italy, man. Anyway,
Kyle goes on one vacation.
This is the only part that now I'm like, Lindsay's making rational sense, right? She says that Kyle fills a void of an older brother for Carl that he lost. But there's also this working relationship that Carl has to take into account. So no matter what happens with Kyle, or like no matter what happens with the job, Kyle is going to be let down. So Carl needs to accept that and first be like, he's going to be sad I'm quitting, but I have to tell him and I have to still like make this friendship work. And Carl's like, sure. And I'm like, do you think anymore? Like, it's come on.
This was a really good take. And this was an interesting
Lindsay's
part
great.
Of the episode because Lindsay's right. And to be honest, I wish what Lindsay would have said is like, the longer you wait, the worse it'll get.
Yeah, 100%. So then Kyle and Amanda talk, and Kyle knows he needs to have a conversation with Carl. And Amanda's like, maybe just so you know, like the relationship's gonna change because this isn't single Carl. Like it's a different Carl we're dealing with.
Another great moment. Like a comment being made.
So insightful. And Kyle is picking up that Carl's on the verge of quitting. Okay, so prepare yourself that that's a reality.
Yeah.
Let's think there. And then Amanda's just like, you just need to talk to him.
Yeah.
Great. So what a stupid episode of Loverboy, or of what is this called?
Loverboy,
Summer House.
Summer House.
Let's talk about what's to come, because it looks really fun, but if it's not really fun,
if it's not fun by next episode, I'm gonna riot. I can't take another episode like this, even if the fun's gonna come.
The sad part is too, we don't have like a on next episode. It's like the whole season. Yes. So we don't know what. Anyway, on this season, parties. Gabby's ex cheated on her with Danielle, which that's
can't wait to hear about this.
Chris is kissing Sierra's foot, which I hate. Ew. We know I hate a foot fetish. Yeah. Chris gets spanked. Kyle shows everyone his dick. Andrea's back. Corey is coming. Everyone thinks he's super hot, and there's a hookup. I couldn't tell exactly who Corey's hooking up with. I have a feeling it's Sam, but I don't know.
I think it is too.
Amanda and Kyle can't get pregnant yet, and she's scared that something's wrong. Craig and Paige talk about engagement because that's what Craig wants. And Paige is scared to lose Craig to this, but she's not ready and she cries. Carl is checked out at work. Kyle yells at him at dinner about work, which was what Amanda was trying to avoid, sir. Carl gets an engagement ring. Danielle thinks getting engaged, it's not the right time. Lindsay and Danielle fight. Maya and Lindsay fight. Danielle cries. This is beyond repair. Gabby's fucking exhausted after week 3. And we can't lose Gabby.
Okay,
she's the only future.
That's telling me that some fighting's going to happen. They, like last season, they kind of did. I don't think next week, because next week is still 4th of July. Like they're doing 2 episodes this weekend. And 4th of July was on a Monday last year.
You're right.
So like this is a really long weekend. We'll have Sunday and Monday still to come. And then I think by episode 5, we'll get the drama. And then episode 6 will be Gabby saying she's exhausted. And it's been 3 weeks. I know.
Okay. Should we do fun, not fun?
Yeah.
So for those of you just joining, well, Meredith and I think, Meredith and I love to pick almost like an MVP and like a LVP of the episode. And we base it off Kyle's famous saying, summer should be fun, Amanda, not fun. So we pick someone who's fun and someone who's not fun.
Yeah.
So which one do you want to do first?
Can we do not fun so that we can end on a high note?
Yes. But we also have people's stuff to read.
Oh, so. Yes. I'm picking Carl here. I don't like how he's going about any of this. I don't like how influenced in like in his relationship, how deep he's gotten in it. Because I think Lindsay does influence him. Now, is it for the better or worse? That's not to say, but because I think in every moment it's different. I just don't like that Carl doesn't seem to be able to handle things on his own and from his own perspective. Like with the Maya stuff, he had to take it back to Lindsay for Lindsay to be upset instead of just telling her, hey, this was my conversation with Maya. Like, this is what she said. Like I stood up for you in our relationship and you are my priority, but it does hurt me that like Maya's upset. Or like same with the Carl stuff, like just handle it, like be an adult and handle it.
I feel like he's lost himself.
Yes.
Like he's not a person.
He doesn't have
anymore.
A perspective at this point. And I just don't show up on my effing screen and not do anything. I can't.
Okay. This kills me to do. I'm going to pick Lindsay.
Good.
Listen, here's the thing. I cannot correlate I texted Carl to smoke a J and get off my boyfriend thing that's happening. Lindsay makes 0 sense to me. It doesn't seem like she just has any kind of rational thought in that argument. Also, Lindsay's a staple of the show, right? She is Summer House. She is one of my favorites. Half of Lindsay is being involved in the drama and getting activated and putting her opinion where it doesn't mean anything and fighting with people, but like having dance parties. And I'm really sad she's like losing herself as like a Summer House character. And I get we grow and we evolve and Lindsay's like in her mid-30s and I totally get that. But like, if you know you cannot carry the show the way the show was meant to be carried, like it's just not working for me. And I'm almost disappointed. Like I want Lindsay yelling, how many sandwiches have you made for me?
Yeah.
And she's just not going to do that. And I also miss the Lindsay that would have walked right up to Maya and been like, stop talking to my boyfriend right in front of the camera. But there's nothing. It's just her being, I'm an adult. I'm going to work out at Barry's. I don't know, gonna take pictures with Carl.
I don't want to see the work as twins hanging out with their kids. So like they're not on our screen because they didn't want to do this life anymore. And you know what? Was I sad in the moment, their first season that they were gone? Absolutely. Did life continue moving forward? Yes.
We get past it. We move on. Summer House is meant for new people to circle in. This is not the show where we grow. That's a Vanderpump. That's a Southern Charm. We want to see
a housewife.
Grow. That's a housewife.
Like Southern Charm. Any other show, this ain't it.
This show is
getting fucked up in the Hamptons in a fancy
party.
House. Yeah. Yes. And you know what I realized is that dinner that they had on Friday night must have been so boring if they showed us no footage from it. Like, show up at dinner, make dinner interesting. You don't have to even stay up till 3 a.m. You can show up in multiple ways. Make breakfast in the morning if you're an early riser.
And share your life with everyone. Sit down and be like, yo, a rat walked over my foot today. What? Ew. Like, we could talk about literally anything. Just like show up. Stop this weird like breakup of the group and isolation. And like, if this is the whole season. And here's the other thing, right? Summer House is about hooking up. I want to see everyone hook up and like fight over dudes. I want it. That's all I want in life. I get Amanda and Kyle that has been like not a stable relationship, but a consistent one. And that they always do serve, right? Kyle can serve. Amanda can serve. We know. Carl and Lindsay as separate Summer House characters, fantastic. Together, we don't need two couples. We only need one.
Be like Kyle. You don't have to be hooking up with someone because you're in a committed relationship. Try and get Gabby a new man, you know, like make that happen for us then.
We're just going to have to watch Carl flirt with men to be friends.
No.
Oh, okay. Let's do fun. I have one.
Okay, you go.
Actually, I have two. So if you want to pick one.
Okay, I'm going to go with Kyle. For the first time ever, I'm not annoyed that he was so stingy about his room. I think he actually played it right. This is what I've been telling him to do. If it means something to you, grab your room ASAP and just
sound the alarm.
I know.
Doesn't hate Kyle.
And you know what? I did shame him about the mood comment, but I'm taking it seriously now too. I'm on his team about the mood. The mood matters. I saw a TikTok the other day and somebody was like, if you don't want to invite someone because you think the mood is off, that's wrong. And I was like, no, it's not. The mood matters. The mood does matter. So I'm team Kyle on this.
Wow, that was neither of the people I was thinking. So I'm going to go with my original.
Okay.
I'm going to go with my OG pick. I'm going to go with Paige. Listen, she didn't really show up, right? But Paige has shown a great deal of maturity here. First off, I want to shout her out because she's the only one remembering Andrea, who we all love and miss so much.
A fallen soldier.
Second, she was really cool about the rooms. She's willing to share. She's all about it. She's bringing in the new people, which we have seen Mean Girl Paige in the past that I hate. She is not. She is welcoming. She is fun. She brought Gabby, who we're absolutely obsessed with at this point. Good. She also texted Lindsay, hey, let's move on. She's encouraging Maya to go talk to people. And honestly, even if she encouraged Maya wrong, she's just trying to get some drama. That was the most interesting part of the whole goddamn episode. So like, thank you, like Paige, for pushing Maya to do that. Also, she's gonna serve us with Craig. Listen, I hate Craig and Paige. I don't know why. There's something weird. I also do support them though. But if there's one thing we can count on is they're going to show us every ugly, bad, horrible thing in their relationship along with the good. Whereas I think Lindsay and Carl will only show us the good. So I'm ready
like for as much as you like dislike watching Craig and Paige, they're entertaining you.
They're entertaining. They're going to give me everything.
We dislike Lindsay and Carl and it's not entertaining.
Paige is going to be open about it. And honestly, if Lindsay does leave, I think Paige can fill those shoes. I do.
I think so too.
And I think this season though is going to make or break Paige as a finalized person of like, you are
moving
just as
into
good
like
as Lindsay
the OG
Hubbard
category.
Yes. Because I think she's good. Yeah. I think Winterhouse set her back a little. So she's got to really push a little. So I'm pumped.
I'm excited.
Okay, let's read some stuff. Okay. Casey said, Summer House is my favorite. So glad it's back. Okay. A lot of awkwardness. What's going on? Why is it so awkward with Lindsay and Carl as a couple? And why haven't we seen Danielle and Sierra?
That annoyed me that they weren't there.
The room situation, even more awkward. Oh, she's pregnant also with baby number 3. Shut up. Congrats. So she's like, bear with me through all these awful thoughts or like the chaos in her brain. Okay, Kyle and Carl, awkward. Maya, Carl, and Lindsay, you guessed it, awkward. So Carl was California sober last year, then he wasn't, but Maya didn't know and Lindsay got mad. Lindsay says she's the adult, but I feel like she gets mad so easily and then shuts people off by saying it's a boundary, which doesn't sound very adultish. No. And I agree with Carl about the number of guys. Bring back Andrea. I think that's all I've got for now. We'll have to talk about the new people once I see more of them.
I don't think Andrea was fired. I think Andrea chose not to come back personally.
He loves Lexi so much. Yeah. And Lexi maybe was like, I don't want to be on camera. And Andrea's like, I won't leave you ever again. But I want Lexi.
I'll leave you for like 2 weekends and I'll come.
Yeah. Okay. Tonette says, okay, y'all made me start the season with an open mind. But what in the holy fuck? Why? Sorry about that. Why is Maya made to feel bad about her friendship with Carl? Why is Lindsay being overprotective and jealous? Ugh, 13 minutes in, I'm already over Carlinda. But she says she loves Lindsay's hair length. And also, Tonette says, Gabby is my soulmate.
Same.
I love Gabby. And then she also says, I have thoughts, but I don't want to crowd your comment section, which Tonette, please do.
Crowd it up.
She said, y'all should have a special guest. Different each time, of course. Join the show every so often. To which I said, that's a great idea, but we are chaos when figuring out these times.
We really want to do that for One Season Wonders because it's a little less chaotic.
But what I said maybe is we could do a mid-season check-in. Hear me out on this. Where we invite our $5 patrons to join and we can all discuss, we can record it and we can release like a little like mid-season check.
I love that.
Instead of like a pre-show. But we'll release this to everyone.
I'm in.
And whoever can come can come. Also, if you like a 24-hour notice, you're welcome to join the podcast, but it's like very chaotic.
We'll put up a comment about like we'll just plan even if it's not exactly mid. We'll start looking for a date.
A little mid-season.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Thank you for the idea, Tonette. So then Chrissy said, I hated this episode. Why bring entire back if it's freaking awkward? I know. Why bring entire back? I don't know what that means, Chrissy, but okay.
Chrissy, give us an update and we'll read it at the top of next episode.
I don't want to watch it, but I will because at least the new people and Maya are there. Okay, fine. I'll accept page 2. So I guess I really only have one problem, and it's the weird threesome of Kyle, Carl, and Lindsay. And I do too, because that's our OGs. And Chrissy, oh my God, it's going to drive me absolutely fucking bonkers.
Yeah, not good.
Like the whole thing.
It's a bad omen for the season.
Well, that was fun. Let me do all the things again. Rate, review, subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. I'm about to go look at the polls again because I can't help myself. Join our Patreon. We are going to release Vanderpump Rules, so be sure if you're watching that to stick around. The post is live. Vanderpump Rules is on right now as we're recording, so I expect to read everyone's shit. Can't wait.
Thanks, everyone. Happy season premiere.